The World Street Food Tour levels up with a never-before-attempted eating challenge. I'll be marching half a marathon along Bangkok's BTS line, hunting a different Thai street snack at every station, turning Thailand's delicious street food into pure Forkin hell.
Lifting your senses, lifting you up to a different dimension. You see it, you feel it, it grabs your attention. Open your eyelids, you've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like this.
Good morning, legends. Now, YouTube is filled with eating challenges, so I've come up with something, to the best of my knowledge, has never been done before. You'll be able to enjoy the hidden sights and tastes of Bangkok's incredible food scene as I attempt to not only find and eat a lot of different snacks, but to do so whilst hiking over 20 kilometers, which ended up taking me 8 hours and fast became the hardest challenge I've ever done. As you've seen, I started at a BTS station called Mo Chit, and I plan to walk 17 stations to one called On Nut. So, Hidden Gem 1 in the shadows of Chak Market is this wonderful indoor market named Or Tor Court. And other than its lack of elephant trouser novelty shops, has everything you'd expect and is well worth a visit. As this is a brand new challenge, I needed to loosely set some sort of rules. What exactly qualifies as street food? For example, 5-star chicken is physically cooked on the street, but then what happens with the now larger ones? Don't know. I'm happy to take any suggestions, as I certainly plan to eat only street food when I walk from Chiang Mai to Bangkok. I probably messed up the challenge straight away here, starting out with a simple coconut slushie, thinking it's a popular fruit that I can eat or drink on the street. However, I did also eat one of these rice wrapped in leaf things, but of course, messing up, forgetting to film it. Speaking of messing up, before filming I'd already walked a lap around the outside of Chak Market looking for a good vantage point to film the intro, before realizing that all the shopping malls in that area open much later. So overall, wasted a lot of time. Classic. So back out onto the BTS line, just did stop number 1, my coconut shake, which is a strategic move, and just checked the time, and so far I've walked 3 kilometers in the last hour and a half, so yeah. This walk's going about as well as I expected. Anyway, on to round 2. As I was pretty south of the first BTS, that meant the second was only moments away, and onwards to one of my favorite snacks ever, the Mu Ping. These are just grilled pork skewers that are juicy, smoky, and marinated usually in a savory mix of garlic, soy, and I'm assuming some sort of sugar. For 10 baht or 30 cents, I mean, you can't really go wrong here.
Actually, no back. I'll just take it from here. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, much as I'm thrilled to have eaten 2 things in 2 places already, Mu Ping is literally everywhere, and I was really hoping to use that later on in the walk. But hey ho, got myself a coffee, now cheer myself up. Actually, remember back in the day in Walker 3, every time I got a coffee, I used to make a joke. But it's 2025, we don't make jokes anymore. Actually, yesterday I went to a zoo, but I only had 1 animal, and it was a dog. It was a Shih Tzu. Pause for laughter. Nope. Okay, well, by the time I'd finished that joke, I was already arriving in Ari, a neighborhood known for its lively markets and diverse, inventive street food. Ari blends a laid-back, trendy vibe with deep culinary roots, vendors selling anything from fusion snacks to homemade desserts, with many small stores experimenting constantly with new flavors. Directly beneath the BTS was this bustling market which had an incredible smell, sizzling grills, freshly roasted coffee, skewered meats, and hand-pressed juices. I happily wandered through the aromas until a simple, comforting choice won me over, a warm sort of waffle filled with corn. It felt light enough to keep exploring, yet distinctive enough to capture Ari's playful approach to familiar desserts. Under the shadow of glass and steel towers, I pushed ever more on, fueled only by the coconut slush and the banana fritter, pleasant starters but hardly substantial, and the Mu Ping I'd sampled earlier stood out as the most flavorful so far. But all of that was about to change as soon as I arrived at Sanam Pao. Of course, knowing my luck, on the other side of the BTS, I'd found this lovely couple making pad krapao. Pad Kapao isn't strictly a street-only dish, but in Bangkok it often appears at market stalls, food carts, and theirs certainly felt rooted in tradition. Of course, you've got the meat combined with garlic, holy basil, topped my rice next to that fried egg. In hindsight, I probably should have gone easier with the chilies. I'm regretting that more today editing this video than I did when I filmed it. Certainly these two were fantastic partners, and you saw the man had cleared away a table for me to sit on, and they both had great English and didn't mind chatting with me. Even at the end, when I explained to them what I was doing, the man was super keen to help me navigate the heat in, any way possible.
What is your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Pim.
Nice to meet you, Pim. I am regretting getting such a large portion. I am now very full. And that's the fourth stop, 4th out of 20. So that means there's carried a 3. There is a lot more stops still to go.
Mathematics aside, I was finally picking up some pace, stopping only to use the 4x zoom on the new iPhone, which gives me a few new shots to use. I mean, look at it. And without much distance traveling, it was time for me to look up to notice that the BTS line had started to curve, which could only mean one thing: I'd soon be arriving at Victory Monument. The Victory Monument, of course, is super famous for this little street by this klong called Boat Noodle Alley. But at this point, I was so full, I thought I'd save that for a bit later on, so instead, headed to somewhere about there. This is a popular street food snack consisting of a thin, soft, crepe-like pancake wrapping around a sweet, colorful, sometimes crunchy, spun sugar. Now, as I head back up to the skywalk to find a comfortable place to sit and eat these, it's time to tell you about today's sponsor, A Chef's Tour. Now, if there's one thing I know about marketing, the longer some idiot has to tell you about a product, the worse that product is. A Chef's Tour, link below. Having walked the entire 48 stops of the BTS twice, I'd roughly estimate that it's just about 1 kilometer in between each stop. What with finding, buying, setting up a place to film and then eating, so far this journey I hadn't noticed the distance at all. The food aspect itself was actually really difficult, not just compounding the ever delightful Thailand heat, but as we know, most food challenges are usually done, at the very least, sat down. So a really fucking strange idea to combine it with walking, and I can see why this probably isn't all that popular. I had hoped to grab something along this train line thinking it would look all cool and cinematic, but alas, it seemed like there was just lots of construction going on. So, other than deciding against eating these mangoes, I popped into this cute little food market, which was cramped and busy, but no less awesome than others that I've visited. My thought process here was to find something that was a liquid, maybe healthy fats anyway, so this freshly blended avocado drink was absolutely perfect.
Got milk?
To save a long video, next up I opted for a simple, elegant banana. However, that would turn out to be a mistake. Given that, it's literally just a banana, right? And probably goes against the quote-unquote rules that I haven't officially set. Before you start insulting the validity of this brand new challenge by leaving an anti-banana comment, please note that I do rectify this shortly. However, I kind of need the comment, so go ahead, knock yourself out.
So it's 11 a.m. and I've reached Siam, which is the halfway point, best that I can tell. So far I've done 12 kilometers, which is weird because it's only a 9-kilometer route. So either I keep going the wrong way or my watch is wrong. I think I've eaten 7, 6, 8 meals. I don't know. I've eaten a few meals, but yeah, that's by far the hardest part. So far it's been super easy to find different things. Relatively easy to walk, but yeah, I've not eaten 6 meals before 11 a.m. before. So it's getting quite tough and I feel very, very bloated. So I need to be kind of clever with what I'm going to pick next. Very small, tiny, healthy, unlikely, covered in plastic foods. So let's keep going.
It was at this moment, as I filmed this pretty awesome shot next to the beautiful fountains alongside this shopping mall, that the penny dropped and I finally realized I'd made a mistake.
When I tried to create this challenge, I literally said to myself, I need to try and eat different food, completely different food at every BTS stop. If not, the challenge will be pretty easy. I literally said the words, or else I could just eat a piece of fruit at every BTS and, super achievable, right? And then I've just eaten a banana and I've been thinking about it for the last 10 minutes. And I realized that I had a coconut something at the very first stop. So I need to rectify my mistake. Basically, I'm an idiot.
Luckily, Siam, given the huge amount of offices, shopping malls, and footfall, is filled to the brim with these little alleys with plenty of food stores in. So, pushing past a few people, I had found this fried banana, which just so happened to be next to what I later found out was some sweet potato balls. And thus, at Siam, I officially ate 2 snacks, and providing no one questions the bloody avocado juice, I was back to all square with just 9 more stops to go. So a brief update on the old scores. I've tried to put the Thai names in there because, I can barely pronounce my own name at times. A small break, filmed an interesting street, and lo and behold, I was at yet another BTS station. This time I wanted to try something distinctly familiar, and for reference, I asked her for 1 small scoop of vanilla, and she gave me this.
Dare I say that ice cream has sort of given me a new lease on life. Just pure sugar, but actually it was quite cooling and delicious. I think that's meal 8 or 9, I'm not quite sure. But what I am sure of is today I've eaten more street food snacks than I certainly have in the last 6 or 7 years that I've been here combined. And I'll be truthful, everything so far has been absolutely delicious. And I think I couldn't have spent any more than 400 baht combined, so cheap, but absolutely worthwhile. I've tried a few things that I've never done before, and I'll definitely be back for more, so here's another BTS.
It certainly wasn't a long distance to the next station, and once again I'd found yet another street food market. At this point, the novelty of these markets are slightly starting to wear off, but luckily, right near the doorway, I found this lovely lady selling what I believe is Isan sausage. I've had these before at the speedboat races, but this one at least was a different shape. I quickly grabbed one and headed outside to the train track so I could spend a few minutes to myself before heading to the madness, which would be Nana. Nana is known for its lively nightlife, diverse dining options, international vibe. It hosts a mix of upscale hotels and, according to ChatGPT, expat-oriented bars. Brilliant. Either way, I'd found this shop, I don't remember which soy, and I got a pack of these bite-sized coconut snacks that you'd normally get alongside boat noodles. I'll be honest, from the 6, I only actually ate 3. I kept the rest of my bag to give to my wife. But first, I really needed a break from filming, eating, and moving. So once I had waddled my ass into Asok, I walked up a street to Benja Kitty Park. Frankly, at this point, I couldn't put anything else into my mouth without feeling like I was going to throw up, and that would have been game over. So I pretty much just sat at this park for 30 minutes staring at the water, and I really needed that break. Break over, I literally filmed the intro and left, and back to the other side of the BTS line to a favourite street of many men, women, and other genders named Soy Cowboy, and a papaya salad, otherwise known as Somtam. We got lime juice, fish sauce, tomatoes, long beans, and crushed peanuts, traditionally prepared using this mortar and pestle to gently bruise the ingredients to release more flavour. Vitamin A, C, and plenty of fibre, but by this point, my healthiest option would have been to stop eating and go to bed. Alas, I headed back onto the BTS to give time for my mouth to stop bloody burning from all the chilies again. Top tip, head to a nice vantage point, get a tripod, adjust the camera, color grade, speed up the footage, add a blur, invert, and there you go. You've learned something. Oh, and don't use tripods on the BTS, they get funny about that for some reason. I know your bums are hurting, admittedly, it's not as bad as mine today, you've seen how many chilies I've eaten, right? And with just a few stops to go, we're on to Phrom Pon. Past a big shopping mall, past another park, and luckily found the same thing I'd eaten at the very start. Not really too sure how to describe it, I believe it's called Cow Tom Mad, but I'm probably getting that wrong. Basically sticky rice and coconut milk with some beans inside a banana leaf. I feel like it would go really well with some mango, maybe an idea for some entrepreneurs out there. And then basically because I've been outside for 7 hours by this point, I jumped into this shopping mall purely for some sweet air conditioning. Welcome to Tong Law, one of potentially 3 Thai words I can nearly pronounce correctly. This area, of course, has a variety of street food, including a super popular mango sticky rice shop, which I was planning to get before noticing these banana leaf sticky rice things again, and the last thing I wanted to do was get into yet another banana situation. Wow, I'm 42 years old, and I don't think I've ever actually used the phrase banana situation. I guess you never know what you're going to get on these crazy adventures. Either way, I found this awesome lad. I did ask him several times to tell me the name. It's a sort of Thai pancake with egg, and this one had cheese. Certainly different than the coconut and jelly one I had earlier.
Absolutely the best part of this walk is going on these little sky bridges. Ekamai, Prakano on 3 more meals. I am now tired from the walk, full as hell. One thing I absolutely hate is going out and having a massive meal and then you got to get home. But having continuously tiny little meals for 7 or 8 hours. I don't know, my watch is now died. Oh my God, I must have gained like 5 kilograms today. And then maybe burnt off 3 from all the walking. I mean, I don't know.
We are nearly there. I felt surprisingly upbeat here, probably because this bloody awful walk was nearly finished. And inside the BTS, I found this baozi, Chinese steamed buns with a soft, fluffy dough, and inside was some sort of mince.
No back. It's okay.
I randomly then bumped into my friend Dan, making his first appearance on the channel, and then pressed on, eating my bun, aiming towards the the last but one BTS station, Phra Kanol. At Phra Kanol, I went through a little side market, but I really started to struggle to find anything I haven't tried at this point. So I opted to very likely break another rule and go into the shop for some boat noodles, which are super famous and an important part of Thai history. Beef or pork, a dark, rich broth, and certainly laced with some sort of fish sauce. Traditionally served in small bowls to keep that broth intense. But in Thailand, it's so much more than just a dish. It's history. It's fast, affordable, and perfected by vendors who once, as the name suggested, used to paddle from shore to shore to sell them. By this point, I'd walked over 20 kilometers and we're coming to the final stop. After sampling over 18 different street foods at every BTS, I'm pretty proud of what I've achieved. It was a proper personal challenge that pushed my limits and opened my eyes. I've come away impressed and humbled by the tireless work and kindness of Thai street vendors. Their skill, dedication, and their warmth towards me was a real highlight. Even researching what I had eaten, I've gained a new respect for the craft behind every dish. So I challenge any YouTuber or food vlogger, if you fancy trying to beat me, absolutely. I'll be watching and learning right alongside you. But stick around as we reach the final challenge. One final snack.
My pace is dropped. Struggling to breathe. I've got stitch. Rolled my ankle yesterday. Pure hell, but yeah. I can't complain too much. I'm just a guy spending a lot of money on food that I don't need, making a YouTube video, so these guys are working 12, 15 hours a day, right? But still, I'm gonna moan because I'm English and it's raining. Why not?
One final shot of the BTS and up this little soy to find the final snack, which proved to be the most difficult to find, as in the end I only found mu ping, pad kapow, and that dreaded bloody banana. So I opted for something sweet. This pack of 6 coconut jelly desserts, and because I'm English, why not have something with curry? So I got this pasty and a local Thai drink to wash it all down and end my very likely 5,000 to 6,000 calorie day the way it started. I headed opposite the street to Tesco to slowly but surely eat everything I had and figure out the plan for the next adventure. Thanks for watching.